Yo, how's it going, guys? So with the Batman just around the corner, like a year and a couple months away, I thought I would take the time to make a top 6 things I would like to see in the Batman because it's been a hot minute since I talked about this topic, and honestly, any topic in general. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off at number 6, I would honestly love to see the Court of Owls being the main villain in this film. We know so far that the Penguin, the Catwoman, the Riddler, and the Carmine Falcone are all a part of this film, but we have no idea what their roles within the movie are and how significant their roles are going to be. Given what we know from the trailer, the Court of Owls do play a part in this movie, and at one scene they are seen spotted within the GCPD as Batman is hooking his way up to the roof being shot at, trying to escape something, most obviously. Quick teacher of Gotham moment. The Court of Owls are, I would say, a more modern villain making their debut appearance in 2011 within the New 52 comic book run. They're a secret society who's been pulling the strings within Gotham for centuries and who've always been kind of like working within the shadows, and honestly remind me of the Illuminati or the Freemasons within that universe, considering they both worship the same owl. They even have top secret meetings and top secret places with masks on, but that just sounds like your average cult doing cult things. Number 5. It's been shown that GothCorp is a thing in this universe, like many things have been proven to be things from these set photos. So that means that Victor Freeze is existing, doing his own thing, honestly, as he should. Some might think that Mr. Freeze is out there from the other set of set photos of a snowy looking Gotham, but I'm gonna go and say that this is a winter scene since the movie takes place in the cold part of the year. And also, bro, how many villains do we got in here so far? But moving on, this is just a dream of mine since I know it won't happen since the trilogy will be focusing on probably a lot of other things. But I hope that Victor Freeze is introduced as a potential maybe like supporting character within his better years so that throughout like the next movie or two, his downfall into the person he becomes as his wife spirals into illness starts to really progress as we witness their shared tragedies. So at least we have like an emotional attachment to the characters during that since it's so tragic. This would honestly be such a good spin-off show idea because if I'm being honest, Mr. Freeze has such a gripping and moving origin story that it needs to be showcased in all of its glory.
Yes, it would move me to tears if I still had tears to shed.
The live-action Mr. Freeze that we've gotten don't do his iconicness justice at all and just make him look so dweeby. Yo, HBO Max, pick this up! Number 4. I know that this has been confirmed that he's still like rough around the edges since he's in year 2, but man, do I want to see a Batman fuck up and have to learn from that. Give me that character development. Show me that Batman is still a human like the rest of us and not some meta-human with every sense super refined who is flawless in his work and doesn't fuck up for being so overly calculated. I love me some Arkham Origins and would love to see that Batman on the big screen, which I'm honestly convinced that they took heavy inspiration from. Like, come on, man, look at that suit. Look at that angst. And on that note, that brings me to number 3. I would honestly love to see more hints to other superheroes within this universe. So another trusty set photo shows us a Halloween party with people dressed up as Superman and also Wonder Woman. While I kind of thought that they might have existed fictionally in that world like they do within ours, especially since it looks like the 78 Chris Reeves suit, another leaked photo shows that Superman does in fact exist. I love this. Why? Because this Batman is pissed off. He has a chip on his shoulder and he has something to prove. He also doesn't have any other superpowers, so he's out there just trying his best and probably is not satisfied with the work that he puts in. Him knowing that people with real superpowers do exist and do actual good things, and not to mention good things that actually matter within this world, that would play into Bruce's psychology and drive to do what he does so much and so well if done correctly. Like, for instance, in Batman vs. Superman, Ultimate Edition, of course, when Bruce first discovers alongside with the entire world that other beings really do exist outside of our world that are way more powerful than we will ever be, that literally drives him to the point where he just gave up on everything he worked so hard towards, like his moral compass, and just started ruthlessly wrecking people out of hopelessness and fear, the same kind of fear that he tries so hard to project upon other people. Even Alfred, clear as day, calls him out on it.
The gods hurl thunderbolts. Innocents die. That's how it starts, sir. The fever, the rage, the feeling of powerlessness that turns good men cruel.
That shit really tests your self-worth and would really want you to try to just be your best and stand out from these otherworld super beings. Oh, and the fact that they exist would also make way for more or less grounded villains in the future like Poison Ivy or maybe like Clayface. Number 2. I know that this will be in the movie, but damn, do I just love the idea of it. Bruce's struggle to maintain his two identities. Let's throw back to 2018, a good time when Marvel Netflix was so highly appreciated and was a household topic. Well, on mine anyway. A time where Daredevil Season 3 dropped and we saw Matt Murdock literally stop being Matt Murdock for a good duration and only saw Daredevil.
I had friends, I had a life. I care about people and I'm choosing to let them believe that I'm gone because I am. And I know my truth now. I'd rather die as the devil than live as Matt Murdock.
We witness someone who abandoned their everyday identity for their alter ego, making their alter ego their everyday identity, with or without the mask, or in this case, the cowl. I do want to see some of that Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne charm, don't get me wrong, I know we all do, but I do want to see him enjoying being his Batman persona so much that he lets it start to take over him, resulting in him struggling to hide it from the rest of the world. Instead of Bruce Wayne being this perfectly contrasted man between billionaire playboy and caped vigilante split 50-50, show us Bruce Wayne who is struggling to find his true identity outside of the cape and cowl as he's in the suit and tie, and show us someone who is struggling to fit in the real world. Makes it a little more realistic and relatable if you ask me. And that leaves us with number 1. If I'm being honest, I just want to see Robert Pattinson come out on top. Call me a Rob Pat stan, if you will, but this man is a goddamn genius and a master of his work.
Delusions!
People still flack him about Twilight, even though nobody hates Twilight more than Robert Pattinson himself.
Did your Twilight experience turn out to be what you expected?
Oh, when I read it, it seemed like it was a book that wasn't supposed to be published.
All I gotta say is move on, please. When I was confirming the villain count for this video, in the literal top post, they just gotta throw this in there to really undermine the movie. It's like they totally forget that Batman Begins has 5 bad guys and came through exceptionally well, launching off the whole Dark Knight trilogy. I feel like he's been such an easy target for fake news sources to shit on his ability to play such a complex and beloved character, especially with his sarcastic sense of humor and inability to take anything seriously, with a sense of aloofness that literally is Bruce Wayne that is getting so old when his work really does show. After moving back into mainstream cinema, the dude even acquired Christopher Nolan's approval, and if you need more than that to give you faith that Bat Twilight is gonna be a good time, man, y'all need some vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
So with all that being said, there's my top 6 things I would like to see in the Batman 22. So with all that being said, there's my top 6 things I would like to see in the Batman 2022. Coming not so soon to a theater near you. And in the meantime, I'm going to make more videos on this topic because I fucking love Batman. And with that being said, my name's Freddy Savage. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good night and goodbye.